pull some from down here, and I happen to need more rock up at the top end there. Quite a bit of mud going on around the wood yard, so we're gonna peel some of this up here. And I don't normally drop it down this low. Normally you're really not carrying a lot of rock with this thing. It's usually just kind of skimming along, but since I want rock up here, we're just going to keep pulling up the hill, and I'll end up with a few yards of rock up top where I need it, and I'll end up with this thinned out a little bit, and it'll work out just fine. Welcome to the channel, guys. This is my land grader. It's built by LS Tractors. I didn't buy an LS tractor, but when I bought this tractor, this was what was available, and it's been a great unit. So I've had it a year and a half now. I've used it a lot, and it's held up really good. I've heard from quite a few guys that are on the forums talking about other brands that have folded up, and you know, you hook a stump or you hook a rock in the ground, this thing's jerked this tractor to a complete stop. So I've had this about a year and a half, and it's been a good unit. It's hard to tell, but it's got some wear on it. It fit the quick attach here. I had to make a little modification up here to make it work with it. These bolts interfered with this hook coming in and out of here, and if I switched the bolt to the top, then I didn't fit into my other attachments. So I just welded some little plates in here. One of these days I'll get around to painting that, but so it does work with my quick hitch. I also added this. I've got a 6-foot drum roller that I pull behind it, so kind of makes a one-pass deal on some of the stuff when you're doing driveways. So this is the MLG3072. It's supposed to be for 25 to 55 horse tractors, 6 foot wide or 72 inches. It's supposed to have scarifiers. When I bought this, they were supposed to get them and ship them to me, and that's never gonna happen. So I do have rippers on my woods box scraper that I use when I have to scarify something. I've also heard some manufacturers void your warranty if you hang weights on this. I've got, I think these are somewhere around 80 or 90 pounds a piece, and I'll put up to 6 of them on here because that's what I have if I'm just trying to get this thing to really cut into some hard driveway. But anyways, there it is. Let's show you how it works. One thing I really like about this attachment is it works really well in reverse. You can really see what it's doing versus the box scraper a little bit better. Float this thing along. So by doing this, I'm not driving in the mud. I'm not filling my tires up with mud. We'll just drop a little pile here, and we'll just keep working it out. This attachment is you can just pretty much drop it on the ground. Compared to my woods box blade, that'll keep cutting in. You can end up digging holes. I'm traveling a pretty good clip here, and between those little shoes on the side of this thing and the fact that it's got 2 blades, 2 cutting edges, just skims along. It doesn't dig in aggressively. So I go up and down the driveway pretty fast with this thing, and I don't accidentally drop it too much and dig a hole. So, and adjust that top length, and you can get the front cutting edge to dig and the back one to feather, or you can get the front one to float over it, and the back one is just going to kind of almost like back dragging at that point. I've got them kind of tweaked to where they're, if I set it down hard, the front one's going to cut in, and then once it gets full in the front, I'll pick it up just a little bit, and that back one's going to start filling, and that'll help you carry the most amount of rock this thing will gather up and carry. Box scraper would actually pull this out of here quicker, but let's see what the heck that is. That's pretty cool. That's like a little pin hammer. Wooden handle here, but that's for knocking a tooth out of a bucket or driving a little pin. It's flat. That was in the gravel, so I don't know if that was existing to the property or if that came in this last load of rock. I bought this old homestead, and it has been very interesting, the things we've dug up out of the ground around here. A lot of the ground was so rough here you couldn't even drive a pickup through some areas, and old exposed trenches and just junk everywhere. It was a little bit of a project we knew of going in, and the amount of metal we found in the ground actually caused us to buy a metal detector, so my wife could go out ahead of me and run the metal detector around and find all the T-posts and find all the old car parts, old tractor parts. A little bit easier to pick them out of the ground than it is to dig them out of the rototiller and end up out there with the sawzall and the torch cutting things out. It gets old pretty quick. See the pass we just made. That's pretty smooth for being looking out both directions of the machine and everything we're doing here. Digging in, you're kind of grooming this edge a little bit. Well, we got some rock down through here. It's not perfect, but this is a working area. I'm constantly turning around, going back and forth. So I can at least get out to the wood pile now and work in this area. Well, I hope that clears up what these things do and what they don't do. You know, if you got a big hump to cut down, or you want to be real aggressive, you need a box scraper. If you're trying to do fine finish work, then you want a land grader. You know, obviously, best way to do it's have both. Not everybody can do that, but you know, if you're just tuning up your driveway and that's all you're doing, I'd go with the land grader. If you're doing more aggressive cutting and you're trying to, you know, really reshape or cut in a new road, then I'd go with a box scraper. So this unit has been super tough, real happy with it. You can adjust these little side rails down here up and down to change the height that these cutting edges run at, and that makes it more or less aggressive. I haven't tinkered with it much. Mine are set about 0 right now, so they're pretty much, if you set it down on the concrete, they're pretty much flat touching the floor. Works real good for me. So with that, I'm going to wrap this one up, and thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.